And welcome back to News Channel 3 Live at 9. Sex, betrayal, money, greed, power. Have I got you yet? It's an all in the new novel from first-time writer Lisa Turner. A Little Death in Dixie is the story of a notorious Memphis socialite who vanishes, and her disappearance uncovers the sordid secrets of high society. It will jump off the shelves at you. And Lisa, this is your first book.
It is.
Tell us how long it took and what the process was to come up with it and to develop it.
This book took so long. Cell phones weren't commonplace when I started.
Yeah, it didn't take that long, did it?
It did. And the problem with cell phones is, for suspense writers, it creates terrible problems because you can get your main character, in a warehouse, pinned down, gunfire. You want him to be clever and get out of it when he can just call 911.
Well, just make it happen in an elevator where he won't have cell service,
there you are.
And there you go.
You
He'll have to use his wild
ideas.
If nothing else, I think a lot of folks will love just the title of this book itself.
Oh, thank you.
What's with the name there?
I was standing outside of a store, and so in so many ways things just come to me, just hit me, and the title just came to me.
You actually, when you talk about how the process and how long it took, you dreamed about this book. It kind of gelled. Did you have the nut of the story first and then it expanded, or how did that work?
I started with a dream, which was a missing woman, and she had a sister. There was a young detective. There's a husband.
Oh,
there's always the husband, you know, when
is he a
woman's
good?
Always.
Is he a good husband, or is he one of those?
Well, you know how that goes. A good story, the bad guy's always a little good and a little bad.
Yeah.
So, and I went from there, and I wanted to learn how to write well. I wanted to learn how to write a book that people wanted to turn the page,
yeah,
and that people cared about the characters. So in the process of writing, the story changed, and I had to learn. I had to find out what made a character interesting, what made you want to move forward. You have to have turning points and all this sort of stuff. So story structure was actually what I was interested in.
But did that challenge you as well, and did it really kind of keep things really fresh for you?
Oh, constantly. It was the most intense learning situation I've ever been in.
So how did you learn all that? Did you interview authors, or did you actually go to classes?
All of it.
Really?
Yes, I have an extensive writer's library, and I wrote pretty much every day, writing and rewriting, and then conferences, and also critiquing and editing for other writers. That's it's an apprenticeship.
That makes sense. That makes
so
sense.
it's really, it just takes. Some people sit down and write a brilliant novel, you know,
just intuitively.
That's
yes,
it.
But no, I worked really hard.
Would you recommend this is something that we can all do, maybe deep down inside, or?
Sounds like a lot of work.
I know it does.
A lot of people say, I would love to do that. And it is, I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about, everything I learned transfers into other parts of life.
Yeah.
But to write a good book, unless you just really have it, it takes a lot of work to write a book that's seamless and simple.
You were a big fan. Well, you're a fan. You're a reader, so you're a fan of a lot of authors.
Yes.
But James Lee Burke and his character Dave Robichaux. And
yes.
you mentioned that there was this book actually did not start out as a murder mystery. It was more about a dysfunctional Southern family, and then this detective keeps showing up.
Yes.
And was any of that? Did you go to Burke? Did you say, "Show me how you do what you do"? I mean.
I went to his books. I have spent some time with him.
Yeah.
And he's just a fine gentleman.
Is he?
But
because he's a great writer.
Yeah, and a great man.
Yeah.
His work informed my book. I love Southern Gothic, and so Carson McCullers, Flannery O'Connor, Dennis Lehane. Dennis Lehane is not Southern Gothic, but he wrote Mystic River.
Yeah.
So I read broadly, and all of those.
And all that helps.
And Law and Order.
Law and Order
actually helped.
You mean
well.
TV helped?
You gotta be kidding.
How?
Well, because the way Law and Order, you begin with one idea, and it's you think it was a suicide, and no, it was the janitor, and no, it was the wife. Oh no, it's the mayor.
And so layers are added.
Layers
as
and
you...
turning. They're called switchbacks.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, see, there's a term we didn't know.
There's a lot of terms.
We learn something new every day. So what comes next for you?
I am working on some ideas for the next novel.
Okay.
You're dreaming?
We'll see what happens. I dream a lot. There are a lot of interesting people in Memphis. And Memphis is a main character in this book.
Why was that important to you?
It's just the setting. I mean, I grew up in Memphis.
Yeah.
How could you not?
So kind of write what you know, too.
Exactly. And Memphis is a fascinating place. So I went all the way from the Memphis Queen to the Germantown Charity Horse Show, and
I love it.
The juke joints and the closed down plants in North Memphis.
You covered a lot of territory.
I did.
A lot of good people, interesting people.
Everybody from newbies to Memphis to longtime natives will get it, and we'll learn something. Thursday at 6, you can meet Lisa at Davis Kidd.
I think a lot of people will be there.
Much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to see you. All right, a short break. More News Channel 3 Live at 9 in just a second.